So the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class is finally here. And honestly, this is one of those cars that feels less like transportation and more like an experience. When we talk about Maybach, we're talking about luxury in its purest form. And the new S-Class takes that to an entirely new level. At first glance, the design is unmistakably Maybach, big, bold, elegant, and dripping with presence. That signature two-tone paint option is still available, and it looks just as stunning as ever, almost like it's gliding down the road even when standing still. The grille is massive, chrome-detailed, and instantly tells you this is no ordinary Mercedes. The proportions are stretched, the stance is commanding, and the detailing is so sharp it feels like every line was drawn, with a ruler dipped in elegance. But the big news isn't just about how it looks, it's about what's hiding under the hood. For 2026, Mercedes-Maybach has introduced a new hybrid powertrain, combining that classic V8 performance with an electric boost. It's not about making this car a sports car. Maybach doesn't need to do that. Instead, the hybrid system is all about effortless power and, of course, refinement. You get instant torque from the electric motor, which makes acceleration feel silky smooth. And at the same time, it keeps the ride whisper quiet. That means you can glide through the city almost silently, or lean into the V8 when you want that traditional Maybach rumble. It's the best of both worlds, blending performance and sustainability in a way that feels perfectly suited for this era of luxury. Now, I know when people think Maybach, off-road capability isn't exactly the first thing that comes to mind. But Mercedes has given the S-Class some subtle tricks up its sleeve for those who want to push boundaries a little. It's not meant to crawl over rocks like a G-Wagon, of course, but features like adaptive suspension, intelligent traction systems, and even mild off-road driving modes mean that if you end up on less than perfect roads, the Maybach won't break a sweat. It keeps its composure no matter where you take it. And that's part of what makes it so special. You're not just limited to smooth city streets. Step inside though, and this is where the magic really happens. The interior of the 2026 Maybach S-Class feels more like a private lounge or a first-class suite than a car. The materials are simply out of this world. Hand-stitched leather, open-pore wood, brushed metals, and ambient lighting that can transform the mood at the touch of a button. The seats aren't just seats. They're recliners with heating, cooling, massage functions, and even leg rests for rear passengers. You sit back and feel like the car is built around you, not the other way around. And then there's the tech. Mercedes has always been ahead in this department, but Maybach takes it even further. The massive OLED screens, both up front and in the rear, feel more like high-end TVs than car displays. The infotainment system is intuitive, crisp and loaded with features, but it never feels overwhelming. It just feels natural. Rear passengers get their own control tablets, a 4D Burmester sound system that makes music feel alive, and yes, even fragrance diffusers that let you set the atmosphere exactly how you want it. In terms of updates compared to past models, the 2026 Maybach S-Class feels like a significant step forward. The hybrid engine makes it more modern, aligning with the shift toward electrification without compromising on luxury. The design has sharper lines, giving it a more modern edge while still keeping that timeless Maybach DNA. And the interior, while always a highlight, feels even more tailored and indulgent this time around. Mercedes has really leaned into the idea of making the Maybach experience unique, not just a stretched S-Class, but a class of its own. Of course, all of this comes at a price, and as you'd expect, it's not cheap. The 2026 Maybach S-Class is expected to start around the high 200,000s, with more customized versions easily pushing past 300,000 or more depending on how wild you want to get with options. But here's the thing, Maybach buyers aren't just buying a car. They're buying comfort, prestige, and an unmatched sense of presence. For them, it's not about the price tag, it's about the statement. So how does this new model stack up against previous Maybach S-Classes? In my opinion, it feels more forward-thinking. Past models have always been luxurious, but this one feels like it's preparing for the future, while still respecting the traditions that make Maybach special. The hybrid system is proof of that. It's efficient without losing character. The design is fresh without abandoning its heritage, and the interior is more immersive and tech-driven while still being warm and inviting. At the end of the day, the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach S-Class isn't just about getting from point But to point B, it's about how you feel in between. It's about gliding in silence through the city, reclining in comfort while the world goes by, and knowing that you're experiencing one of the finest examples of luxury that the automotive world can offer. It's not for everyone, but for those who can experience it, it's an entirely different way of living on wheels. So, what do you think of the new Maybach S-Class? Is this the ultimate luxury sedan for the modern era? Or do you think Mercedes should have pushed even further into electrification? Personally, I think they nailed the balance, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.